Hi, my name is Gil Robertson, president of the African American Film Critics Association. Today, we're thrilled to be talking to one of our favorites, actress Nicole Ari Parker, who is one of the stars of the HBO Max hit series, And Just Like That. We're going to kick things off introducing you to our African members on the call today, starting with Al McGee in South Florida, Mercedes Springer in Atlanta, Niger in Washington, D.C., Dana Abercrombie in New York, New York, Tamra J in New Jersey, Seven in Chicago, Illinois, Ruben Perlada Ricald in South Florida, Jill Monroe in LA, Nancy Green in LA, and Karan Lenoir Kelly in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm going to let you guys do what you do so well, and I'll see you on the other side.
Every night, welcome.
I'm writing my first novel, set in the 1840s.
It must have been so much easier being single back then. My phone is who I'm in a relationship with. I'm so done. I want... Oh my God.
That's what we're doing now?
I gotta stop playing dating bingo.
You need someone more...
Oh.
Yahtzee.
Feel that?
You want us all to meet Diego?
Back in my day, boy ballet dancers had boyfriends.
Oh, I have a boyfriend, too.
Gosh, that's not the way I thought this was gonna go.
Who's this guy?
That's my editor.
You didn't tell me he looked like that.
Like what?
Like Michael B. Handsome?
Would you like some?
No.
Okay.
I'm fine with what I have.
There are a lot of things in life that are not perfect.
Everything is gonna be fine.
Steve, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna figure it out.
At my age, do I really want to be starting over? There's really only one way to find out. Just here to pick someone up.
Oh, is it me?
You got it!
My future mother-in-law is on her way over from the Carlisle.
Please set that down. It must be heavy for a man of your size.
Oh my God!
You and your neighbor kind of caught a little vibe there.
He's a writing partner.
Well, could it be more than a writing partner?
I don't know what comes next. You are so fabulous. Well, that was never in question.
Okay, how do you want to handle this? Should we just, move your stuff to one side? You should see your face right now.
Good evening, Nigeria Chambers from Big O Belt Media. Nicole, thank you for your time today. Yes, with the unfortunate news, I definitely want to set the table by saying, yes, today will be a celebration. And with 3 amazing seasons and just powerful performances and storytelling, I know I can definitely speak for myself by saying it was one heck of a ride. But yeah, Michael Patrick King did recently confirm this news about season 3 being the conclusion of this franchise. I want to know for you, and I know you shared some heartfelt moments on Instagram a few days ago, but now that some time has passed, I wonder, have you been able to reflect on your journey with this show even more, and how does it feel to be a part of helping move the needle in this iconic series? And is there any personal memories or moments on set that you hold especially close?
We are 20 years deep into this series, and here we were adding people who have identities, new identities or different identities. We have people of color. And the first thought I had when I got the call that they were interested in me to read for the part was, wow, now the city's going to look like the city, and and then my second thought was, is it going to be spaghetti thrown on the wall? Is it going to be done right? And I have to give it to MPK, who, in the first season of And Just Like That, he had 2 Black women. So I didn't feel tokenized. Like there was an understanding that the Upper East Side Black woman and the professor might have different lives. It's not just the color of their skin, that we are humans, and with different needs and different tax brackets and all the things. And I really love that. And then secondly, he put Black women of all brackets and parentheses in the room. And so when I walked into LTW set, I was like, because we all know LTWs, you know. Um, I'm an actor, you know, and so I'm still on the working class side of things. You know, I think I just got my first Bisa Butler, you know, as a grown person. And so I just felt like I was in good hands. And at the same time, there was no overreaching. It was seamless to write my story to fit in. And then who doesn't want to wear, you know, Oscar de la Renta to pick up their kids from school? I mean, so I felt like I was in good hands. And I had so much respect for Sarah Jessica Parker and what she's accomplished and the rest of the cast, Cynthia Nixon and Kristen Davis. I didn't know them. I've seen Cynthia on Broadway many times and knew she was a beast, but I was so blown away about how real and kind and generous they are. What I wasn't ready for was the fans. I forgot that they had, you know, worldwide global opinions coming at them at all times. So I had to draw on the Lord when all the drama was happening.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much
but
for that.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying
I
thank
answered
you.
like 5 questions, but that's just me.
No worries. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, Nicole. My name is Ruben Peralta from Miami.
Hi.
One of the things that I love about your character is never stopped. It's always moving. It's always between balancing her life in between her marriage and social life, kids, everything. Um, if you have the opportunity to write a spin-off or just your character, how this will look like?
You know, a couple of people have inquired about that. It's not really up to me, but I think, you know, the Wexleys were well developed as a family, and that would be wonderful to work with Christopher Jackson again. He is just, you know, most people know him from Hamilton. He's a mighty, mighty Broadway star, and that I think that we really gelled as a family. I mean, it would be the modern day Huxtables in a way that we all need, especially now. And yeah, that would be the broad strokes, I guess, of a spin-off. I don't think, you know, I think there's a lot more story to tell in that family.
Thank you.
Hi, Nancy Green here.
Hi,
And
Nancy.
I wanted to know, can you speak a bit about the differences between the first season and the third season, and what you're going to take away from working on this show?
Well, you know, the first season, I think, for me was, as an actor, you know, like every show has a tone, you know, and this was a like the Jeffersons or Good Times or Sanford and Son or the Cosby Show. There's a tone that you have to honor if you're stepping into it. And these were not 1 hour episodes, and it was packed with drama and comedy back to back. And so I had to really honor that speed of transitions. Something dramatic will happen, and then it's like quirky, real life, completely relatable moments. And so it really kept me on my acting chops in a way. It looks seamless for everybody, but it was actually very specific rhythm, and I just did my best to kind of work on that. And I think by third season, even mid second season, I had found my groove.
And what are you going to take away from working on the series?
I need better clothes.
Okay, thank you.
I need to stop saving the good dress for a good event. You can wear the good dress to the store, like LTW.
Well, thank you, and much continued success to you.
Thank you.
Dana Abercrombie, The Coalition. What I loved about your character for this season, it really touched upon working mom's guilt. And so what I wanted to know, with the evolution of this character from season 1 to now season 3, can you talk about how she is kind of able to tackle that and the new perspective of how, if any, she would have done it differently from season 1 to now season 3?
You mean the balancing work
the balancing
and family?
act, because her daughter, it wasn't just out of the blue saying, I miss you. This was a feeling that accumulated.
Yeah. I think that most modern day women, we're all juggling so many things that I think it was just a well conceptualized episode. And that's what I was saying to Nancy, that we know how profound that moment is for those of us who are juggling responsibilities, but it's also, you have to turn on a dime and don't necessarily solve it all. And I think we have to remember that things like that, when the work is a lot and it takes its toll on your marriage and it takes your toll on your parenting, or if you're caring for a parent, you know, it's a moment. And we tend to double overwhelm ourselves that this is going to last forever, and then throw something out with the bathwater, leave the job, focus on the child. But I think that one of the things is that you have to give yourself grace. And that this is just this moment where you are trying to build something and not give up on it. And I think what was wonderfully portrayed is that LTW had a partner who gave her that grace. But it could also be a friend, a sister, you know, or someone you trust that can help you. But I think that you just have to remember that this is the moment where you are given the energy and the power and the focus to finish this task, and that everyone's going to be okay. I mean, I went through that with Boris and I. We two working actor family with 2 children who were our number one. So at a certain point, it's like, why am I freaking out? Like, Nicholas was the baby. It's like, Nicholas is going to come with me while I shoot this film. I'm going to ask my mom to come with me. And Boris took Sophie. She was a little older, and we had help. And Rosie went with Boris, and we just made it work. You know, 45 days on a movie set is enough to make you go, I can't be an actor anymore and be a parent. But when you want to do it and you know that you've been given this gift, you find a way to do it.
Thank you.
They're 18 and 20 now. I'm like, oh, they don't want to come nowhere with me.
My name is Al McGee here at WritingTicket.com. I've been watching you for so many years, and I really admire your craftsmanship, your acting, and everything like that. What did you expect from this role to help you to grow much more as an artist? Because I really have seen you grow a lot in this role from this series, and I really love your character, and I really love you with Chris Jackson. So what did you learn yourself, and how did it help you to progress?
Well, like I was saying before, I got this job, I would say, almost 30 years of being a working actor, very confident of my instrument and all my choices and things like that. But I was walking into a formula, and I think that it was very curated, and it worked. And so I missed a lot. MPK would yell at me from the cameras over in the director's chair with all the producers sitting around, and go, one of the famous quotes was, I was supposed to be mad about something and I had to like punch the pillow. So I know Nicole knows how to be mad at her husband. So I was really punching the pillow, and he yelled, a little more Carol Lombard and less Sonny Liston, ma'am. And so, so yeah, I just had to be on my comedic toes, and balance that with the drama. So I think that I've grown as an actor on those quick turns. A Tennessee Williams play will let you have 4 scenes in the moment. No, not on this series. Hit it and quit it.
Wow, that's really great. I really admire you. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Hi, Seven Gun from Seven Gun Media. I've also been watching you for many years. My question is, so I lost my father about 3 years ago, and the particular episode that stood out to me was the one with Jennifer Lewis. And I wanted to know, what did you pull from that specific episode? Because for me, I think my father would have appreciated the episode because there was it was sad, but there was also a lot of comedy in that episode. So can you kind of explain your relationship with your father and then with Jennifer Lewis? Because there was some highs and lows, and there was a whole lot going on in that episode. So what did you pull from that?
That is an incredible question because the great Billy D. Williams played my father, first of all, A. But second of all, they knew that an LTW could come from a working class family. There wasn't this other narrative that this kind of dad made this kind of girl, hardworking, believing in herself and accomplishing something. So the fact that LTW had a father who ran a theater in Harlem was just magnificent. It was a magnificent detail. And so, and to give one of the Black characters a full life, I wasn't just slapped on the screen. Like they showed where she came from. And I think that, and then to give the father Jennifer Lewis as his life partner, to share the screen with her was one of the highlights of my life. And she just took the scenes and ran with them. And the funeral was actually much longer, but because of the episodic time constraints for the show, they had to take some out, but she had the whole theater in stitches. Like we could not, it was like the directors, the producers, the cast, the extras, we couldn't hold it together. She's Jennifer Lewis. It was wonderful. I know her off camera a little bit, and we get to catch up every now and then. But I was honored to do those scenes with her. We had a ball.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And I'm a daddy's girl too, so I'm sending you a hug.
Hi, Nicole. This is Karan Lenoir Kelly from Karanism.com and Love Music Pleasure. And first of all, I want to say how godly proud I am because I'm a daughter of Baltimore. So to see you grow and blossom and your family grow and blossom the way that it has been a real joy. But I want to talk a little bit about the pleasure principle because LTW and her loving husband, Herbert, with his gorgeous self, she comes to a revelation where she begins fantasizing about Marion, her creative partner. I thought that was such an incredible thing to explore because it's not something we talk about often. So what did you learn about having that kind of connection with a working partner?
Well, I think that what was so evident was her stress level. And stress has that way of putting you in a position, especially if you're a high achieving person, that you just need a release. It might be a glass of wine. It might be not sleeping, and then you need relief in a way. And so I think that Marion was just a result, a symptom of something much bigger. And I don't think her marriage was ever really in danger. I mean, she has sense, but I just think that they did a good job to kind of flesh it out a little bit. Like, what is this? Ask some questions, give it a name. It's a work crush. And then writing the scene where she gets up out of the theater. You know that at a certain point you got let's refocus. It might mean that I have to do a deep dive as a person, but I know this isn't the right choice.
I know
And
that
I
in a healthy marriage and a long-standing relationship, this stuff comes up because you don't go blind. You don't stop feeling just because you have a life partner. But I love the way that it played out. And thank you so much. I hope LTW does get her own, because the art is worth it.
The teacups are worth it.
Thank you.
Hi, Nicole. Mercedes here with She Critiques in Atlanta.
Hi.
Well, first I want to say I think you are the perfect puzzle piece to this series. Like, you just fit seamlessly with the ladies. But I want to talk about the fashions, okay?
Yes.
Because the fashions are amazing and you wear them beautifully. This series has always been one of those things where you can put a look on a wall and you know what character belongs to that look. So in terms of developing Lisa Todd Wexley's look and who she was going to be and her identity through the fashion, what was that conversation like? And yeah, let's go there. I'll hold there.
Well, Molly Rogers and Danny Santiago and MPK, they had a very specific style that they wanted to try to achieve with her. It was very intentional. But, you hire an actor who's wearing, a t-shirt and jeans, you don't know if she can carry a purse and cook dinner for her family in a giant necklace, And so I think when they got a sense that I could handle the drama seamlessly, naturally, that I think that it just exploded. Like, we can give her a feather shoe. We can give her, and it's believable. We can give her a giant, gorgeous handmade necklace and two purses to carry, and it would look normal. And so that tapped into the fun part of me that I never really get a chance to do. I'm always very serious, or never get a chance to express that fun, over the top side of my personality. I knew exactly what to do with two purses. And I think that they just committed. I mean, and again, very intentional about wearing Christopher John Rogers and handmade bags from Central America and Africa, and really allowing LTW's whole situation to be on point. If you really watch the show, in the first season, I didn't have a kitchen. But when the family gelled, that's a full executive decision all the way up to the studio. That's a budget concern. And they gave the Wexleys a kitchen, and it was just a gesture of, this is a full family. And then they put the Harlem Etoile coffee cups in my cabinet. Like, from the fashion to my accessories and my set design, I think they did a great job.
Do you have a favorite look from any of the seasons, like where that sticks out in your mind?
I love them all. I love them all. And because they told a story. It wasn't just all Yves Saint Laurent. It was Yves Saint Laurent with the bag from Ecuador, with the shoes, my glasses, my jewelry, everything just came together. Every wardrobe fitting was a show unto itself.
You looked beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tamara J. for Noir Online. My question is regarding Lisa's, there's so much to ask. She was such a well-grounded character in terms of fashion and Black excellence. Did you feel a sense of responsibility bringing her character into the Sex and the City universe as a Black woman?
It was definitely a sense of responsibility. Um, but I was also, LTWs have been ready, you know, since, Helen Willis on the Jeffersons, like I knew her, you know her, we all know her. So it was responsibility, but it was already there. Like finally. So I got to work every day, like so grateful. So grateful that somebody wanted to bring our LTWs to the screen.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Nicole, Jill Monroe, KBLA Talk 1580. So one of the more functional relationships we saw on this 3 seasons, is LTW and Herbert's relationship. And we saw a bit of a challenge this season. But how do you feel overall as a Black couple in this white curated existence, so to speak? How do you feel that relationship and those bonds and they're coming together as a union and being seen?
I think they handled all of the details well. I think that they put the right words in our mouths for the short little intermittent scenes that each family gets. And they put a lot of information in the scenes that did a lot of the narrative for us. And, Derek Adams behind me when I'm saying something is a whole historic moment. But, how did I feel about it? It wasn't more of a responsibility as it was a finally. You know, I love that like I was saying before, I love that it wasn't just us. It was his mama. It was my daddy. It was 3 children. It was kitchen cooking and being a documentarian. I mean, all those details are left out often. And so, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. So it just felt like a finally, like, yes, I'm going to make these 7 minutes matter.
And they did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And they let us make love and they let us fight. It wasn't polished. We just had really nice Mackenzie leotard pajamas on, but we were having a moment as a married family.
So, Boris Kojo was one of my favorite characters in the Resident Evil series. And so now that And Just Like That has ended, I wanted to know, will the two of you work together in maybe doing something action centered, like maybe a spy or action adventure, horror, anything like that?
I would love that. I think we are overdue, aren't we? We need to do something. I mean, we met on the set of Soul Food 25 years ago. And we've been married for 20 of those years. And I would love to do an international spy movie with him. So yeah, just when 2 or more are gathered, okay? Let's just make it happen.
And Nicole, I know you mentioned earlier, and I heard you say it in another interview as well, how Michael Patrick King decided to put some Black writers in the room and really diversify the writers' room. Can you pinpoint specific things that those Black writers brought to the script, to your character and to the series in general?
I'm sure they had moments where the punchline had to fit in the rhythm of the show and be on the theme, because if you study Sex and the City, there's a unifying force for each episode. So I think on a episode, they probably were working within those comedic confines, but they managed to give LTW and Herbert the right comeback, or the right sassy line, or the right way we grieve, and still also just let us be married with kids, and the fact that I don't know if the writers, because I wasn't in the room, if they were asked to change a line. I'm sure Susan Fels Hill and Kelly will be able to tell you more. But yeah, from my perspective, I was given a complete script that had already gone through the editing process. And sometimes it wasn't a line. Like if I saw a scene and I know how this woman would cook, or if there, as an actor, I was able to ask MPK if he was like, why are you doing that way? I had a back energy, a backstory around why I delivered the line that way. I'm not scolding my husband right now, or I'm speaking to him clearly, or I'm being loving to him. Like, you can take one line and it could be a lot of different things. So just in terms of my Blackness, or my understanding, or my perspective, sometimes made lines more authentic for me. But from the most part, by the time I got the pages, it was clear what the scenes were about.
Thank you.
Well, Nicole, it speaks to your strengths as an actress that they invested the type of effort, the type of dollars that they did in this role. And obviously Susan Fels Hill brings a great deal of history, with her own personal history and her own life, being that the woman that you were portraying, in fact, to some degree. Although she's not from a working class, her character is not her. She's not a working class girl, but she, in her present life, embodies that level of sophistication and community involvement and all of those things. So we just love you in this. We are going to write 100,000 letters to HBO Max, to whoever, to make sure there is a sequel to this, because you really did your thing. I am so thrilled and happy for you. On behalf of the world's largest group of Black film and TV critics, thank you for joining us today on AAFCA Roundtables. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. You too.